Today we're going to look at the second part of solving an inequality, looking at the properties of inequalities and also looking at solving real-world problems involving inequalities. Property of inequality is a lot like the property of equality, meaning that in order for it to be a property of inequality, whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. So it occurs on both sides. The biggest difference is instead of having an equal sign, we must have an inequality. So less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. The first property of inequality we're going to look at is the addition property of inequality. Just like before, we're going to go through and we're going to cross out what's the same between the first and the second step. If you notice, that leaves us with an inequality. And what am I doing to both sides? I'm adding 7, so it's the addition property of inequality. The second property of inequality is the multiplication property of inequality. Again, we cancel out what we're doing to both sides. We cancel out what's the same between the first and the second step. If you notice, we have an inequality. And what am I doing to both sides? Parentheses means multiplication. So I'm multiplying both sides by 1/5, which makes it the multiplication property of inequality. Let's go ahead and look at some real-world problems. Joanne has $30 to spend at the fair. The admission price to get in the fair is $7. If each ride costs $2, what's the most amount of rides that Joanne can ride? So first of all, let's make an inequality. I know that whatever I spend has to be less than or equal to $30 because that's how much money I have. What is my one-time fee? The $7. And what am I going to do multiple of? The rides, the $2. So the x goes with the 2, and I add 7. So what I spend at the fair has to be less than or equal to $30. Well, how do I figure out how many rides I can ride? It's really easy. You take the amount you start with, the $30, and you subtract your one-time fee. If you need to do it in a calculator, you can, but 30 divided by 7 is 23. You take that amount and you divide it by the multiple time fee. So in this case, it's 2. So 23 divided by 2 is 11.5. Again, you can do that in your calculator. So that means at most I can ride, or she can ride, 11 rides. Let's look at another one. Micaiah is going to Thunder Valley. He has $25 that he got for his birthday. He plans to buy a pizza for dinner that costs $12.50. How many games of laser tag can he play if each game costs $3? So the amount he spends has to be less than or equal to $25. The one-time fee that he's going to pay is for the pizza, which is the $12.50. And the multiple fee he's going to pay is $3 for each laser tag. So the X goes with the 3. So that amount has to be less than or equal to $25. So again, we start with the amount he has, which is $25. You subtract $12.50, and that's going to be $12.50. And you take that amount and you divide it by your multiple time fee, which would be 3. I'm going to go ahead and use the calculator for this one. So $12.50 divided by 3 gives me 4.16 repeating. That means at most he can play 4 games of laser tag. Okay, I want you to pause the video and I want you to try and write the inequality and then figure out how many donuts does Mrs. M have to buy Mrs. Gibson. Okay, great. So we know the amount that Mrs. M has to spend is $12. So what she spends has to be less than or equal to 12. The coffee is your one-time fee. It's $3.75. And each donut is $1.25. So the X goes with that. So your inequality should be 125x plus $3.75 is less than or equal to 12. In order to figure out how many donuts, we take the amount you have, you subtract the one-time fee, and then you take that amount and you divide it by $1.25. So let's do that. 12 minus 375 equals divided by 125. That means 6.6. So Miss M can buy 6 donuts. How'd you do? Good or bad? All right, great. This last one, again, hit pause, write your inequality, figure out how many candy bars Jason can buy, and then hit play to see if you're correct. All right, so our multiple fee is 75 cents. The one-time fee is $1, and that amount has to be less than or equal to 6. So to figure out how many candy bars, we're going to take 6, we're going to subtract 1, and we're going to divide by 75 cents. 6.6 repeating, so he can buy 6 candy bars.